Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Why is why is Maple Story music so fucking good? That's what I want to know. Anyway, this one. Yep, there we go. Okay, I don't know how long this is gonna be because we only got 33 left. Maybe it'll be super short. Maybe it'll be super fucking long. I don't. You know what? Actually, let me turn this down a bit. There we go. That's from my end. I'll turn it back up for you guys to about where it was. It was like that, right? There? There you go. You can, yeah, that should do. That's just a bit loud on my end. Alright. Yeah, so we're on to teas. Man, there's a lot of teas. And then, wait, really? Oh yeah, U, V, W, no X, Y, only one Z. Okay. Alright. First up we have Takagi-san, which this is an interesting one. I'm gonna slap this one an S. And this is a weird one because this is one that is going up even though no new content has come out for it since last year. Technically new content has come out as of me making the stream because season 3 like just started. That's obviously not being factored in, and also I haven't even started watching it because it's only like 1 or 2 episodes out so far. Takagisan's really fucking good, but yeah, last year I put it in A, and this time I'm putting it in S, despite there being no new season or anything like that, which is pretty rare. Usually I will move something up or down when new content comes out, but if no new content come out, it's either going to stay the same or it's going to go down as I get more separation from it. This is something that's going up, despite there being no new content from it, which is kind of weird. I don't know, man. Takagi-san's just so fucking good. I think it's just, like, I don't know, me just, like, seeing, not even really, because I didn't even rewatch it or anything either. Like, I think it's just, I don't know, man. Takagi-san is just really fucking good. It's when I first realized Takahashi Rei's a fucking insanely amazing voice actress. The show's just super good. All the music they do like a different cover with Takahashi Rei. She does a different cover of a different song for the ED every single episode. That stuff's really good. And then recently they've been uploading those to their YouTube channel, including clips from the show. So just like in like little show MVs for them, which have been really fun. And I don't know, maybe it's just seeing those and just thinking about the show more often and being hyped for season 3 that's just made me realize how fucking good it is and how much I like it. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that it hasn't faded. Maybe it's the fact that the longer it's gone on, I just keep wanting more of it, and I keep enjoying it every time I think about it. Like, there's no like, oh, I clearly just liked it that much because of recency bias. Like, no, as time goes on, I'm just like, I just keep enjoying it, and it doesn't fade at all, and it just has, I don't know, really good longevity, I guess. Takagi-san's fucking amazing. It's like one of the best romance anime fucking ever, period. It might be the, is it like the only, oh no, high school girls there. I was wondering if it was the only romance in AS, but high school girls there. And I mean, Koe no Katachi kind of is a romance. Kinda. I wouldn't say it fully counts as one. Tacked Up Destiny, oh boy. This is probably a D. Tactile Destiny started out really good. The first few episodes have some pretty good animation. A lot of cool Sakuga moments. The designs seem nice, and the premise and story, at least, you know, had a promise. It's like, this could go somewhere, but I feel like the story just really fucking shits the bed by the end. It just goes to crap. Tactile Destiny is like, here's the thing, it's part of a multimedia project. It's also part of a multimedia project that fucked itself over completely, because the mobile game and the anime were meant to come out at like the same time, as is always the case with these kind of things. But whoever was making the mobile game fucked up and it got delayed, but the anime didn't get delayed, so the anime's come out. The mobile game still is not out. And yeah, and the anime is just meant to be like a prequel to it anyway. It's so, like, that's the thing. Like you know, stories in like gacha mobile games are always such a specific way. If you've played them, you kind of know what I mean by that. And so this is like very limited by the fact that it's a prequel to that. And I think that's probably the thing that hampers it the most, because like the animation's pretty consistently good. The characters are good and have some really good moments. I love that it's about you know, music and classical music and stuff like that, but like the story just goes to utter shit and really lets it down, and it's like in such a way that it just becomes uninteresting, you know. Usually, like, if that other stuff's good, it's like maybe a not great story doesn't matter too much, but I don't know, something about the way it is in Tactile Destiny just like ruins everything. It's like a story that like stops the show from being able to have enjoyable moments, if that makes sense. Here's Talentless Nana. I just finished watching this like yesterday, I think. Was it yesterday? Maybe it was the day before that. Talentless Nana's great. So it came out at like the end of 2020, and last year I put it in S. In retrospect, that is definitely recency bias, the fact that I put it in S last year. This time I'm putting it in A, even with the recent rewatch. It is really good, but it's not A tier. But yeah, Talentless Nana is fucking sick. They should make a second season of it. There's still no second season announcement, which is, I mean, it's a little concerning, but it's not too big a deal. The Studio Bridge does all the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and they just announced they're doing the well, they don't do all the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, sorry. They did Sevens. They're doing Sevens. And they just announced they're doing the next one, which is called like Dash Go or some shit. And so they're the studio that does, I don't know, handles Yu-Gi-Oh, and they're also doing Shaman King remake. So they probably got their hands full with that. I mean, if you get to fucking do Yu-Gi-Oh, that's so fucking popular, you're probably gonna put a lot of stuff into it. But hey, you know, this came out while Sevens was airing. Maybe a season 2 can come out while Dash Go is going on, just as like an extra thing. I mean, it definitely was popular enough. It probably exceeded expectations that the anime was as popular as it was. But yeah, I really fucking love it. I think it's great. Make a second season. It's yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it too much because I feel like it's one of those shows where you're meant to watch the first episode without knowing anything to see the big twist. Oh, Tatami Galaxy. That's also an A tier. Tatami Galaxy is fucking great. It's by who's the? It's that guy. It's that guy. Who's that guy? Fuck, I can't remember his name right now. That director. Isn't it like the same one as? Right, Masaki Uasa. God damn it. How did I fucking forget his name? Yeah, really good fucking shit. Probably his best work, at least in my opinion. I know a lot of people like, what's that show? The the easy breezy situation. I know some people like that one, but yeah, I think Tatami Galaxy is probably his best one, and I'm so fucking hyped for the sequel, Time Machine Blues, which is being done by an even better director, my boy Shingo. Get fucked. Who I think Shingo actually did work on Tatami Galaxy in a little bit. Yeah, he was. There we go. He was an episode director, storyboard, and key animator. Yeah, 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 yeah. And Eriko was the sound director, who's also really fucking good at her job. Tatami Galaxy is great. It's very hard to explain. I guess it's actually been a while since I watched. Actually, it hasn't been that. Maybe it's been 2 years or so since I last watched it. But it's really fucking good. Really like art house shit. Does a lot of cool stuff with animation. A lot of different mixing of styles. And the last like 2 episodes are really, really fucking good. Like the last 2 episodes are basically the titular Tatami Galaxy, but it's really fucking sick. And but it's like you find out the last 2 episodes have been happening like during the entire show, and so like it like, you know, it's like where you're like, oh, those things that happen in past episodes happened because of what you then see happen in the last 2 episodes. It's like, ooh, 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 look how look how smart this show is. Ooh, I say that like it's a bad thing, but it actually is pretty fucking enjoyable. Here's oh fuck, man, this music's so fucking good. Anyway, I'm sorry, this is like one of the best fucking Maple Story songs. I think this is called Tech You, right? That's what it's called. It's been a long time since I fucking watched Shaky, man. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it is. Tech You. Oh my god, this show. So I've only watched season 1, and each episode is 2 minutes. It's really fucking short. The thing is, it has like 7 seasons or something. I think I like at one point like calculated it, and it's like at this, or maybe it's even got like 8 or 9 seasons. But I calculated it at one point, and I was like, it has like enough content to be 1 2-course season, which is quite a lot of content. There are a lot of shows that don't get that much content. It's just spread out across 2-minute episodes across an insane amount of seasons. I don't know why it has so many seasons. It's pretty funny though. I do remember laughing quite a bit, but the problem is I really don't remember it that well at all. So it goes in C, just because I don't remember much about it. I remember they talk really fast, because they have to talk really fast. It's fucking 2 minutes an episode. Yeah, it's like a fairly bonkers kind of comedy where shit just happens because everyone's just talking fast and needs to do everything super fast. So it's just a really fast comedy. It's good though, but I put it in C because I remember enjoying it, but I don't remember why. I mean, I remember why it's funny, but I don't remember why it's funny. So I don't know. Doesn't that, maybe it's, I'll leave it in C. I'll leave it in C. I need to move more shit into C anyway. B and A are way too big. God of High School. Probably also a C, actually. Yeah, God of High School, like, started out really good, and then it, stopped being really good. Early on, it was, like, really, really good, and a lot of people... I remember a lot of people complaining that it wasn't good, and that's because it was very fast. It was very fast-paced, but it was, like, fast-paced in a way that was good, at least in my opinion. Like, it was pretty much cutting out all the fat, cutting out all the bullshit that you would usually see in this, like, kind of show. And it was just getting to it, man. Shit just happened, and it was like, yeah, it just happens. No need to fucking over-explain itself or spend too much time setting up bullshit, because it still took the time, at least early on, to do the important stuff. We still get, we still get given enough of the backstory of, like, the people they're fighting to get them. We're still getting the world explained enough to understand what's going on. We still got, like, episode that was basically a character's like episode that like help establish them and develop them, and also develop like the main group trio. I think it's like episode 3 or 4. We like basically see them all become friends, and it's also really good development for one of them in particular. And it's like, that's all great, and it also is really good that she gets that episode mainly to herself, because the other two get a lot more development in the coming episodes, and they eventually have to fight each other. But yeah, seeing all that is like, it's great. It's like, it's fast paced, but it's still taking the time to do all the important stuff. It's just cutting the fat, basically. It's like, what was it? What YouTube was it? I think it was Best Guy Ever. He described it as the nutrition you need at light speed. And yeah, it was really fucking good early on, and then it just gets a bit too fast. It starts to kind of skip out on the like enemy characters' backstories, which before it like showed them, and it gave you just enough for you to be like, damn, that's like a good story, and I like care about them winning now. But it also didn't waste your time. But then it just starts ignoring them completely, and then it's like, oh, in the web manga, this that character had like an entire chapter or two of backstory, which is like don't give him like a whole fucking episode or anything, but just show it to us. Give us fucking something. And so that, everything just started losing its impact. It started not explaining itself when doing things, which again it was doing early on. It's basically just like the show kept being as fast as it was early on, but it also started cutting out important stuff. It's like it just got hopped up on the idea that it was going to move this fast, and then it started doing it even though the show was starting to get more complex, and it needed to get maybe slow down. Like, you can get through that early stuff at that speed, but eventually we're getting into territory that is very unique to this story, so you need to slow fucking down and explain it. And it didn't. It just kept going so fucking fast. It's like, and it ruins it. It ruins it. It's like, after the two main guys, they have a really great fight. Their fight scene was like one of the best fucking insanely good fight scene in anime. It was like fucking one of the best fights ever. But after that is basically when it goes to shit. There's still really cool stuff that happens and cool sakuga, but it's like, and there's like this one insane battle that like happens across like an entire fucking city that's super sick at one point, where a bunch of people are going after this one specific gem. This guy like absorbs it, and that like powers him up, but then like someone punches it, like fucking punches it out of him, and it comes out, and then he grabs it, and then someone punches him, and then he grabs it, and it's like people just constantly fighting over this thing, and then like you're like, oh, I forgot that guy was there, but then he just like comes out the side and he's going for it. And that fight is like also pretty fucking amazing. But again, a bunch of shit happens in it that makes like you're just like, wait, why can that happen? And it's like, because the show hasn't fucking explained itself. So yeah, like the animation and the fights and all that stuff continue to be really good, and there's cool stuff that happens, but it just starts to lose all meaning when everything just happens without any explanation. And there's some wild shit that goes on. And then the final battle that's actually like at the end of the series, even that's like bad. It's like a bad final fight. After all the good fights that happened earlier, it's just like the final one's just like nonsense. And it's also, they also like destroy all of Seoul. The city of Seoul, the one in fucking Korea, it just gets destroyed. The entire city. Just so that they can have a big fight in a field, so that you don't have to fucking animate the environment. Even though the other fights that like happened like used like the fact that they were like buildings, and like people would go through the buildings and like all that, like it was part of the fight. It was like using the environment. And then they're like, oh no, I don't want to think about using the environment. Let's just make it big open field. And then it's like, oh man, but how are we gonna have the world keep making sense after a whole city's been destroyed? How are we gonna explain what happens to this? Oh, we'll just reverse time in this area. The city's back. Yay. It's like, so nothing means anything now. Got it. Also, the main character turns into a god for a few seconds, so it's just silly by the end. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, where are we gonna put this one? Ooh, this one. To Your Eternity. To Your Eternity. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I'm gonna put it in S tier. Fuck it. It's so good. To Your Eternity is fucking awesome. So I haven't read the manga. Even if I did, I wouldn't include it. But I do want to specify that. I've heard that it gets worse, but I don't know. We'll see. Second season comes out later this year in October. Although I guess if it's 2 cores again, I guess that means it won't finish by the end of the year. So I won't be able to include it, I guess. I don't know, man. To Your Eternity is fucking great, though. Really, really, I don't know. What word am I looking for here? Inventive? I don't know. It's just a cool story. It's like, it's such a somewhat simple concept that just takes it to like the best possible fucking conclusion it can. It's a big, like, you know, it's an epic. It's already like the first season alone covers like 10 years or some shit. And it's so fucking good. The animation's good. The story is like good. The characters are the best fucking part. Like, it's basically just, you know, main guy. What's his name again? Fuck. Why can't I remember his name? It's like really simple. Fushi, is it? It's like it like basically means immortal, right? Yeah, Fushi. You know, Fushi just oh shit, you can see the thingy. There we go. Fushi shows up in an area, meets characters, then just have an arc happen there. And then, yeah, he's basically the only connecting thread between most arcs. And it's just good. He just, like... And you know tragedy's gonna fucking strike, because tragedy always strikes. Everywhere he shows up, people fucking die, and then he becomes them. But... Well, brother, well, you know, he can become them. He can turn into them. Once they die. But it's like, the emotions, man, they're so fucking good. Like, every arc fucking destroys you by the end. Especially, what is it? Is it the 3rd? Well, if you count one episode as the first arc, then the 3rd, I think it is. The one with Gugu. Gugu's the fucking best character, alright? Our boy deserved better. I fucking love Gugu. He's the fucking man, and I cried so much when he died. No arc after that is as sad as his fucking... Gugu! My man. Yeah, and I mean, I thought March was bad. But then Gugu, I was like, you gotta do this to me. I like, every new arc, I'm like, I don't care about these new characters. They're not gonna make me as sad as the last ones. And then by the end of the arc, I'm like, oh fuck, I care about them. No, don't do this to me. You made me care about them again. Yeah, it's just really fucking good at like getting you invested, getting you interesting. The story's really fun, cool, and it makes me very sad. For all the right reasons, though, you know? It's able to make me feel. Here is Eastern Capital Magnet. No, get it? I code it easy. Tokyo is Tokyo Magnitude. Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. It's, I don't know. It's like a disaster movie, but then it also tries to be a, ooh, this character was dead the whole time, and what you really saw was an illusion by another character. You know, one of those twists, like it's a fucking Fight Club, or a fucking, what was the other one that did it? Gakko Garashi, that's it. Yeah, it's like it tries to be one of those, but I think it doesn't do it very well. I watched it with my girlfriend, and I think she liked it a lot more than I do, because I remember her tweeting that it was really good and sad, and that she thinks everyone should watch it. but I did not feel that way about it. I felt it was good at the start. The animation's pretty solid, and it starts out really good. But I don't know. Once it fully gets into like the trying to do the whole ooh, what if the little brother was dead the entire time? Once it gets into that, it's like not nearly as good because I don't know. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it. I don't think it adds anything. It makes it feel worse. Like, I kind of suspected something like that was happening, because there are, you know, hints at it and foreshadowing, and you can kind of guess that maybe that's what's going on. But I feel like it ruins it. I feel like it ruins other past moments, and kind of like, I don't know. It had no business being there. It doesn't add anything. It just feels really tacked on and silly and dumb, and it makes me think less of the entire product. So I put in S, but it does have really good emotional moments before it ruins a bunch of them by saying he doesn't even exist. I mean, he does exist, but he died. He died in like, and he didn't die at the start either. I think he died in like episode 5 or some shit. I can't remember. I can't remember. Or is the sister? I don't know. Look, it's dumb. Don't worry about it. Tokyo Revengers can be a B. Honestly, the story of Tokyo Revengers is the best part. The story is really interesting. And the characters are pretty good. My main problem that I have of it is that the animation is quite poor. It's not like bad or anything. It's just a bit lacking in some areas because, especially during the Bloody Halloween, because, like, you know, they build up the Bloody Halloween. It's this big, like, event that happens with this, like, huge gang war between two gangs. This big fight. Or is it between 3? No, it's just between 2. But, like, it's like, yeah, like they clearly didn't get enough. I don't know if it's, like, enough time or if it's just the talent of the people working on it. I think it was mainly time. That was probably the problem. The animation gets really lacking during those moments because it's like, yeah, there's so many characters on screen, there's so much going on. It's a lot of fighting. It's fighting on some pretty complex structures, like there's a pile of destroyed cars, and it's like, yeah, look, I get that it's like hard to animate this, and I just wish it had been given more time, but because this first season has done incredibly well, and it caused the manga to see an insane boost in sales. The Tokyo Revengers manga last year sold like, it was like the 8th best-selling manga of the year last year. So like this anime is clearly shot it like way up in popularity. And a second season was announced. So hopefully they'll give the second season more time, and then I'd be willing to put it in A or maybe even S. Not S. If it's just an improvement to animation, A, not S, but yeah, story's really good. It's very interesting. I love the way that it keeps raising the complexity. I've talked about this with a few other shows, but I like shows that like keep getting more and more intricate and just like have a lot of things to think about. And so like with Tokyo Revengers, they keep adding they keep adding in more gangs, and they keep adding in more characters that, like, haven't really done anything yet, but it's like, now you know they're there. And it keeps adding in, like, all these elements that you have to think about in both the past and future, because it jumps between the past, well, not future, past and present, I guess, but, you know what I mean. And it's like, it's just really it's so fucking good. And, at doing that kind of stuff, and I hope it continues to be that good, at least in the story department. And if the second season can just get better animation, then maybe A. I also am not a huge fan of the character designs, mainly the hair. There's some wacky fucking hair in this show, man. Like, even just look at this fucking guy here, the like a blonde black, they do that so fucking much. Just like, hey, look at all the different ways we can combine black and blonde in people's hair. It's like hair is clearly the main way you're meant to tell people apart, because it's like, and it gets fucking weird. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of the weird hair all over the place. But, you know, what are you gonna do? But yeah, there's some really good characters in there. Really good moments, really good story so far. It just, yeah, it needs better animation. Because it does hurt the enjoyment when it's like meant to be this super dramatic emotional scene that, I mean, even with the bad animation, I still did cry. It did make me cry, like when Baji died at the end of the bloody Halloween. But I still, like, was slightly taken out of it by just how bad it looked. The animation and shit. Like, the blood coming out of his mouth looked fucking terrible and shit. So, like, yeah. The fact that it did so well, hopefully they'll put more into the second season. Give it more time, give it more people, give it more fucking money. And make it better, because as long as, if the animation just gets better and everything else stays as good or even gets better, then yeah, it'll be fucking amazing. This is, I think it's called like Only Yesterday. So only yesterday, only tomorrow. I don't know, something. This is a D. It's by the same guy that did Grave of the Fireflies and Pompoko. Kaguya, as I said, Princess Kaguya is his best thing, but this one's alright. You know, it's a D, which isn't great, but it's something. My main problem with it is just that it's kind of boring. It's not as boring as this though, right? Like, it has moments that are kind of nice. The animation's pretty good to look at. I guess it's more like Iyashikei that doesn't work for me. Like I can see the vibe of like how like maybe you could get Iyashikei out of it, but it's like not working for me. You know, I don't get a healing, happy vibe off it. I just kind of get a this is happening vibe. I don't know. I feel like when I watch Only, I'm like those people that complain about slice of life being boring. Because I am always like, I can't get that. But then when I watch just this in particular, for some reason, I think I get, like, the way I feel about this is probably how they feel about most slice of life stuff. Even though I love the good slice of life stuff. Like with this one, I don't know, something about it just doesn't work for me. It feels kind of boring. I don't know, maybe it's just the dialogue isn't good, because I don't remember any of the fucking dialogue from it at all. Maybe that's the main problem. Anyway, yeah, it's just not that interesting and very forgettable. As I said, I don't really remember too much from it. So yeah, it goes down here in D because I don't care for it. What is this one called? Tonari no Sekikun, that's right. I thought that was right, but I didn't want to say it in case it wasn't right. It's a short. Yeah, 7 minutes per episode. I don't know if do I want to put it. You know what? B probably does work for it. It's pretty funny though. It's pretty good. It's like it's a short, but it's a very good comedy. It has some episodes that are just absolutely fucking hilarious. It's basically just, what's her name again? Right, Kana Hanazawa. It's basically just her. Like, that's like it, because like the guy over here, the Techla Sekikun, he doesn't talk at all. And so it's basically just Kana Hanazawa watching him and reacting to him. So, you know, you get a lot of her, you know, shit like that. It's just her reacting to and being silly with his stuff. He just basically tries to find ways to entertain himself during class every day. And she she just like watches him try to like kill time, and has reactions to it, because basically all the shit he's doing is an absurd thing to do in class when you're meant to be paying attention. And she's of course always the one that gets in trouble for it, because she is the one that has the like over the top reactions, you know, stand up in class yelling kind of shit. But it's cute. It's very cute. It's very good. It's very funny. Quite an enjoyable time. Blah blah blah. Can't remember the guy's name. Middle Management Blues. This is probably just a C, mainly because I don't really remember much from it. I remember kind of liking it at the time, but as time has gone on, it's kind of faded. I don't know. I guess I don't look back on it as favorably as when it aired. There's just something about it that doesn't feel right. And I mean, I know it's because, like, the manga version of it isn't even made. It's not made by the original guy that made Kaiji. It's a spin-off of Kaiji. It's made by someone else. And yeah, there's just weird characterization in there. There are parts of it I like. I like a lot of the characters that aren't the main two. Like, a lot of the other side characters are pretty good. A lot of the, like, suit men, as they, like, slowly over time start to diversify. Like, at the start, they all look exactly the same, and, like, by the end, you start to, like, recognize who's different, because, like, they start doing slightly different things, to stand out, and so you start to remember, oh, yeah, that's that guy, and, you know, the different personalities they all have. And I like that. I think that's a really cool part of it. But, for the most part, the characterization is just weird, and it's not... I feel like it's... I think it's meant to be a comedy, because it does make a lot of jokes, and some of them are funny, but overall, most of them I just find not that funny. Like, kinda falls flat in a lot of ways. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much more to say about it. It's just kind of meh-ish, and so it goes in C, because, yeah, I just don't look back on it favorably, and after all this time, it's like, yeah, it was a show that existed. It's kind of my opinion on it. Oh, shit. What is this called? Like, Tonika Y or something? I don't know. It's pretty good. B. I'll put it in B. It's pretty good. I was surprised how popular it was when it came out. During the season it aired, it was like... It was the most popular non-airing... Well, it was the second most popular non-sequel thing that season, which was really weird because, well, first of all, the only thing that beat it was Jujutsu-Kaisen, which, like, of course it did. But apart from Jujutsu Kaisen, it was the most popular thing that season that wasn't a sequel. And I'm like, what the... I don't know why it got so popular. Because, like, I mean, the animation's a little lacking. Character designs are a little lacking. But it is really good. I'm just surprised that it was so popular, because I feel like usually something like this doesn't get popular. But yeah, it's a really solid romance. It has a second season announced. I mean, I assume it would. I was gonna say maybe it won't get a third season, but I mean, if it keeps being popular, it probably will. I don't know. I feel weird. Everything that was funded by the Crunchyroll Anime Fund, I feel weird about, because Sony bought Crunchyroll, and I'm like, are they just gonna drop the Crunchyroll Anime Fund, or are they gonna keep funding things? And they funded this, so that's like, you know, Crunchyroll's the only reason it exists. So I don't know if that'll, like... Which is also, by the way, if you go to Crunchyroll, I think it's, even to this day, all of the episodes are premium only. Like, you had to be a premium... I think the first episode after 1 week became free, and maybe the second episode, but after that, every episode just stayed premium forever. Maybe now, like, years later, it's not that way, but that's how it was. Has it even been that long? Maybe it's only been a year. I don't know. Point is, it's really good. Very sweet, like, romance. It was easily probably the best romance of the year it came out, I think. I just remember that they were nominated for Best Couple at the Anime Awards, and every other couple in the fucking list wasn't even a couple. every other nomination wasn't even a real couple. It was just like two characters that people want to be a couple. They were the only one that because they're actually fucking married. They were the only one that's an actual couple. It was like, but even if the others were couples, the fact that they're not couples means they haven't done any coupley things. So I don't know why you'd want them to win. Like, these were clearly the right fucking answer. Anyway, it's good. And also the chick is very clearly meant to be Princess Kaguya from the moon. Her name's Kaguya. And there's a bunch of shots of her, like, with the moon in the background, and the moon is, like, a big thing for the show. And also, at one point, you go to her house, and she has a fucking piece of the moon, like, in a case, and this chick says, oh, she said she has it because it reminds her of home. And it's like, oh, she's so obviously fucking, but no one knows. No one's able to figure out that she's fucking Princess Kaguya, but it's very fucking obvious she is. Yeah, but they don't go anywhere with it, so I am curious why it's even in there. Maybe this time she won't have to go back to the moon at the end. Oh shit. Now we gotta talk about Totoro. I feel like people are gonna be mad at me. Maybe the hot take incoming, but Totoro's in C tier. I just don't think it's that amazing. I don't know. I don't see what everyone else sees in it. Like, it's pretty. It's got good animation, and it's like, you know, yeah, I get it's like all majestical and nice and feel good and stuff, but I don't know. It's just really simple to me. When I watch Totoro, I don't think that highly of it. I'm just like, yeah, that was nice, I guess, but that's, I don't know, I don't really take away anything from it. It's like, and I mean, I know it's meant to just kind of be this kind of fantastical special thing, but I don't feel it, I guess. I just don't feel it the way other people feel it. It's good. It's fine. I enjoy watching it enough, but it's like, I don't know. I never really feel that strongly about it. I'm just kind of like, yeah, that was a thing. I have no major complaints. Hot take warning. I have no major complaints, but I also have no major compliments, apart from the animation being really fucking good. Yeah, I mean, I get it. That's the thing, right? Like, I get it. I get why people like it. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't hit that way for me. When I watch it, it doesn't hit me the way it hits everyone else, I guess. So it gets to sit in C tier. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. This is, Sarun, right? Sarun, right? Wait, I can just see, can't I? Yeah, that looks like it says Sarun. It's pretty good. Maybe A tier? Oh man, maybe B, because I don't remember. No, wait, this is C, this is B. Yeah, go in B tier. Sarun does have a lot of really good stuff in it, and it did make me cry when I watched it, mainly in the middle part. But I feel like the parts later on kind of let it down just a little bit. It's pretty good though. It ends on a tournament arc, which is like good enough for a sports show. I mean, it's a pretty boy sports show done by KyoAni. It's free, but instead of swimming, they do it's not like archery, right? Like, it's like that Japanese archery that has its own name. What's it called? Kyudo, right. It's Kyudo, and I mean, holy fuck, is it beautifully animated. Characters are pretty good, but also kinda basic. I mean, it's very much like generic pretty boy archetypes. Like, you have the main guy, then you got the guy who's like also generic like the main guy is, but he's like a bit cooler. And then you got the guy who's like always happy and jokey. And then you have the guy who's like always angry and kind of a sun, and then you got the like cute guy who's like really upbeat and has the cute voice, and he's like a little twink boy. Um, basic. I mean, look, it's like exactly what you expect when you think pretty boy character archetypes. It's like, yep, that's them. Like, especially the fucking like angry boy, and cute little high-pitched voice, cute twink boy. You know, it's exactly what you fucking expect. Nothing special there, but what they do with them is quite interesting. I think it has a lot better character than a lot of those pretty boy shows have. I haven't watched Free. Free probably has good stuff. It's fucking KyoAni. I'm sure they, you know, put a lot of good into that. But I haven't watched it, so I can't compare it perfectly. But yeah, I can say this is a lot better than most, like, pretty boy shows. I feel like a lot of them get a bit too caught up in just having them, like, oh, we just made the boys pretty, that means people will like them. This has some really good arcs. We even get the characters sometimes being absolute fucking terrible people to each other, and maybe you don't like them for a while, but then it all gets resolved in the end. And I feel like that's something a lot of those kind of shows are sometimes a bit too scared to, like, really go ham in. It's like, oh, they're a little bit mean, but it's like, it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit. We can't have people maybe disliking them for a few episodes. No. They can't have depth. But yeah, it's animation really is its highest fucking point. The music's really good throughout it. The sound direction and editing as a whole is actually really good. Yeah, I don't know. I just put it in B instead of A because, like, it just lets itself down a bit by the end, and I also think it doesn't have that good staying power. I also saw the OVA. There was like a 1-episode OVA that like came out later. And that was really boring because that was like it didn't feel like it had the extra stuff that makes Serin special. That felt like a fucking pretty boy fan service vehicle, which I get because it's an OVA, so who the fuck cares? But like, man, it's like, oh, here's the main team, and here's one of the other teams, and they're all just gonna hang out, and they're all friends now, and they all just do their one gimmick joke, and then they leave the screen. Man, aren't you happy you watched this? And I'm just there like, no, I'm not happy I watched this. Show's good, OVA's weird. It's B. UQ holders, probably just C. UQ holders is like weird. It's a spin-off, but also a sequel to Negima for some reason. It's like Negi or Negima? What's the fucking magic boy? Yeah, it's technically a sequel to Negima, which is really fucking weird. I've never seen Negima, so but it's like his son or something, and then like that lolly chick is here, but she decides to not look like a lolly except for a few times now. Look, the whole show's fucking weird. Yuki, he's like immortal. The main guy's immortal, which does make it interesting because like it's like kind of a shonen-y battle-esque type kind of show, except I feel like it does that very poorly. Main character's immortal, which is interesting because, like, in the first episode, he gets absolutely fucking brutalized. But then, because he's immortal, he just comes back and fucking beats up the guy anyway. And that's really cool because it's like, yeah, you're able to go that far. You're able to have the main character get absolutely fucking brutalized. And that first episode's really good, but then after that, it just gets bad. Every villain that shows up, it's like you think it's gonna get into like, you know, a shonen battle, like there's gonna be a battle between this character and the other characters, and it just doesn't happen. And then it like it just kind of, I don't know, it's weird to describe, but like the pacing of like the battles is really terrible. And I think this is exemplified by, like, at the end, they're like, yo, this is, like they're gonna do a tournament arc, and I'm like, okay, great. Finally, you know, it's so easy to not fuck up a tournament arc. It's basically cruise control for fucking shonen anime. You know, it's a tournament arc. You're able to do that so easily. Just do it. And then it doesn't do it because, like, after, like, the first battle, it's just, like, every other battle after that is just ones that don't make sense and, like, just break the rules of the battle by, like, having other people jump in, and then it's like, yep, and now we're just gonna stop doing the tournament because one of the people that showed up, like, I don't know, fucking teleports them or shows them a vision or some shit, and then it's like, and then everyone's clothes fall off for some reason, and it's weird. It's weird. Basically, every time you think there's going to be a big fight, there's basically just not one. And then it's like, yep, okay, that villain's done, that's arc done, let's go on to the next thing. The characters are alright. I remember thinking they were all fine. But yeah, it's just a very weird... Sure, maybe the manga's better. I don't know. Maybe the manga had better pacing and the anime just fucked it up. I don't know. But, I actually did hear that the manga's way better than the anime, so maybe that is the case. But yeah, I don't know. We're just talking about the anime here, so see, because it's not great. Usagi drop. Probably A tier. Usagi drop's really good. Keep in mind we're just talking about the anime, you know. Alright, we all fucking know what happens to Usagi drop in the manga. We don't need to talk about it, alright? This is just the anime. And the anime is really good and really sweet and cute and great, and it makes me feel good. It makes me happy. I like it. It's just a really sweet story about, you know, this guy taking care of this younger girl who's technically his aunt, and it's just sweet, you know. They both help each other get better, and they get better together and become more fulfilled people, and it's just very sweet and nice. Yeah, look, I don't know what you want me to say. It's just sweet and nice. That's like the whole thing. It's good. It's very good. It's like Iyashikei, but like in a different kind of way. It's like not like a calming Iyashikei. It's just like a, I don't know. Maybe I'm muddling the waters by trying to describe that concept, but whatever. Yeah, it's good. Don't read the manga. That is, there we go. Uzaki-Chan, C? Uzaki-Chan has some good moments. There are definitely some episodes I'd put in, like, B and stuff, and I think it has the potential to be in B, possibly, if I was in the right, I don't know. I feel like there would be some days where you could ask me and I'd put it in B instead of C, but I'm putting it in C now because, like, there's just a little too much bad about it. Mainly, Uzaki can be kind of a bitch sometimes. Sometimes she's a little too annoying. I think there are good, like, there are some really, you know, there's a lot of good and nice, sweet stuff she does, but sometimes I feel like the whole teasing is taken a bit too far. Like Takagi-san is also, like, you know, teasing romance show, which is, like, a weirdly, like, upcoming genre. You know, we had Takagi-san, we had Uzaki-Chan, we have, what's that other one? What's that one that aired? I can't remember her name. There was that other one that aired, like, kind of recently. But, which I haven't seen. But Uzaki-Chan, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it just, like, takes it too far. And also her laughs a bit annoying. And she does it a lot, which can get a bit grating. There are some really good jokes, though. There's some stuff in there that's, like... Honestly, there are some jokes. Not entire episodes, but there are some jokes that are, like, A-tier jokes. Like there's some funny shit in there. Which is why, you know, I didn't drop it. I watched the whole thing. I finished it. It's just that, yeah, sometimes it's B and sometimes it's fucking D or even E. Especially that fucking laugh. It's so annoying. And some jokes just don't hit. They just feel... I don't know. They just feel cruel and, like, they don't feel right at all, really. The only other thing I'll say about it is that I feel like it has multiple, like... It doesn't drag its feet for what it is. Like, there's a lot of moments where, like, the two grow closer... And they have a really good, like, moment together. And they're, like... And, like, something happens. And, like, the way an episode ends, or the way an entire episode was structured, it feels like that could have been the last episode to a season. Because a lot of romance anime like to drag their feet and just have a little bit of development and progress be made at the end of a season. And then just nothing again until the end of the next season. But this, like, has it... It actually has it happen multiple times, and so there's, like, you know, one where they're, like, at a summer festival, and you know, there's this, at the end they watch the fireworks, and, like, the whole episode's at the summer festival, and it's like, and they get closer by the end of it, and have like a really sweet moment together, and there's also a bit of backstory in there, and it's like, this feels like the final episode to a season, but it's not, it's just like episode 9 or something, and it's like they keep having, like, these episodes that, like, have these big emotional moments where they get closer, and, like, the whole concept of the episode and setup makes it feel like this could be, like, the climax of the season, but it's not. They just do that, like, every, I don't know, like, 3 or 4 episodes, which I commend it for. It's good that it's, like, you could have stretched it out and used any one of these big moments as the season finale. And then used the next one again later as the end of the next one. But no, it's like, no, just to have them happen. They fucking... No need to drag that shit out and drag their feet so much. So I at least respect that. Oh boy. Vivid butt operation! This fucking show, man. Holy shit. I think D tier, it's just like... It starts out kind of interesting because it's like, yeah, it's like girls, but they're kind of like magical girls, but they're also kind of like, I don't know, Power Rangers, but they're also kind of like mechs. I don't know. They have transformation sequences, and the creator really likes butts. There's a lot of butt shots. Yeah, look, I don't know what to tell you. The show really focuses on butts a lot. There's a lot of butt shots, a lot of really defined asses in booty shorts. Like, honestly, you can just watch... You can literally just look up the Vivid Red Operation OP and watch it, and you'll see what I fucking mean, because it's all over it. The show feels very... This show feels very, like very early noughts, which it was, right? Was it early, or at least mid-noughts? Maybe... It was 2013? What the fuck? Why? What? The show came out in 2013? Are you kidding me? 2013? What the fuck? Okay, it does not feel like a 2013 show. What the fuck? It feels like it's from the noughts. Anyway, what the fuck? That was in the 10s? What the fuck? That doesn't feel real at all. Anyway, Vivid Red Operation isn't very good. It's just really boring. It starts out kind of cool because, like, it has good character designs. It would be better if it wasn't focusing on the butts all the time. But the designs themselves are nice. They're colorful. It has some good moments. But once it kind of introduces all the girls and gets into the plot, it's like there is no plot. It just kind of sucks. And it's just another one to add onto the fucking pile of, oh yeah, that exists, you know? Every time I hear about Vivid Red Operation, I'm like, oh, right, that thing, I've seen that. It's like, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time, you know? It's got that vibe to it. Someone posted, like, a GIF from, like, episode 2 or something, in a Discord server a few days ago, and someone, like, made a comment in response to it where they used the main character's name, and I'm like, holy shit, how do you remember this character's name? I don't remember anything about it except the butts. Yeah, Vivid Red Operation ain't great. Vivi Fluorite, I thing. I can't remember its full name. I just call it Vivi, alright? Vivi's great. It's by Wit Studio, and they went fucking nuts with it. The animation is incredibly good. This is a time travel anime, and it aired the same time as Tokyo Revengers, and as well as like one other show was also airing that season that was like about time travel. It was a very time travel heavy season. But the point was, Vivi is fucking great. And it's like done as well. It's like just 2 cores. Was it 2? It was 2 cores, right? Surely. But yeah, no, Vivi's fucking great. It just aired and it's done, and that's it. And I commend it for just being that. It finished, it did its story, and it's great. The animation's fucking stellar. There are some insanely cool fight scenes in this fucking show. And also, I just think the ideas it like talks about and tackles are really interesting. There's a lot to fucking think about with this show. About like AI and all that stuff. You know, it's the typical kind of does AI have rights kind of question. It gets into that a lot, and like, I don't know, man. It's just such a good show. Like, the animation's good in a real way. Like, it's not just like, oh, the animation looks pretty. It's like actually good in like the like techniques and like the different stuff it does, and the way it conveys ideas visually is really interesting and really cool. And I wish it had a better ending, which is just because like it has an ending where it seems like the world has basically fucking ended, and then it's able to like one more chance. It basically does like, oh, you got one more chance, you gotta do it right this time, and it goes back. And I feel like it would have hit a lot better and worked a lot better if it didn't have that one more chance at the end. Like, if it was just like, no, like, yeah, the world is fucking ended, it's over, that was it. Like, I feel like that would have gave it a lot more impact. But apart from that, it's just great. There's like not a single, like, as I'm saying, apart from that, there's like barely a bad aspect or a complaint. I'm like, there's no major complaint I really have. It's just super good sci-fi, super interesting ideas it presents. I just fucking love it. It's like basically like as good as like, you know, Ghost in the Shell and stuff like that. Just a really solid, strong sci-fi anime. One of the best. Easily one of the best that has like ever been made. Alright, we're in W. Actually, it's been an hour, and we just got into W, so I'm gonna take a short break. It won't be long, I just need a fucking break. Pretty simple stuff. Alright, let's put that in there. I will be back in like, I don't know, a few minutes, probably not even. Just like, look, I'll be back soon. It's, you know how it works. It's a short break. I just need to like go to the toilet and also stretch my legs and stuff. And also refill my drink. I'll be back in a jiffy. beep 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 Alright, let's continue. Oh wait, oh shit, I forgot to refill my drink. Wait. Shit. Alright. I actually have the drink this time. I forgot because like I with the longer break, I got up and I went to get a drink, but then I forgot to because I like washed my face first, and then when I went to get my drink, I saw my dog was in her kennel, and I was like, what is she doing in there? Because it's pretty weird to see her in her kennel during the day. She usually, like, she sleeps in there at night, but usually she's out and about in the yard or the front yard during the day. So I'm like, what the? I went out and gave her a pat, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing in your kennel? What are you doing in here? It's weird as well, because it's, like, cooler today. Like, during a warm day, she won't go in her kennel, she'll, like, go in the shade. Or she'll, like, and then during, like, during hot days, she'll stay in the shade, but she won't go in her, like, kennel for shade. She just will at night. And then, like, during like, warm days, she'll, like, sunbake in the sun. And so I'm like, what is... I don't know, it's weird for her to be in her kennel. I'm just like, what are you doing? Alright, oh shit, this is, like, okay. Oh, I love this song, too. Alright, anyway, wondering which Elena... Or like, what's it? Maju no Chabi Chabi or something like that. I think I gotta give it an A tier. God damn it! I have way too many in A and B. We'll need to sort that out. But I really want to put it in A tier because it's really good. It's really really good. I rewatched it this year. Was it this year? I think it was. Well, not this year, 2022, but last year, the year that this tier list is for, 2021. I rewatched it, and it was even better upon a rewatch, because there was like a lot of little extra things I noticed that I didn't notice the first time, especially things that like are either heavily confirmed or heavily hinted at later in the story. There's like a lot of hints to that stuff early on, and so that was really interesting and fun to see. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna make a little note of that. It's really good. Honestly, it got better with a rewatch, which is what I love. I love when shows get better with rewatches. That's a sign of some good shit. When a show is better when you rewatch it. Like, obviously it's good if something never gets bad, no matter how many times you rewatch it, but if it gets better when you rewatch it, at least the first rewatch, that's like, yeah, that's some good shit. That means you know it's doing some good shit, right? Yeah. Wondering which Elena is fucking great. It's got good characters. I love main girl Elena. I love Saya. She's fucking adorable and hilarious, and also an idiot. And I love the teachers, and I love, like, I don't know, I just love all the world building stuff. There's so much interesting, like, just so much interesting stuff. And I also love how it's able to do so many different kind of tones Why did... Oh, no, okay. The music's still fine. It's getting dark and spoopy. But I love the amount of different tones that the show's able to do. Like, sometimes it just goes full on fucking dark, and like sometimes the story just ends and you're just like, holy fucking shit, goddamn. There's some dark shit in there. But then there's also like ones that are like silly anime antics, whoa, wacky goofy, and then some are just like more normal adventures. It's like, I don't know, the way it's able to do all those different emotions and they all like connect well and like they all work and it never feels like out of place is like really good. Honestly, it's one of the best like adventure anime. Weathering with You is pretty fucking good. That's also an A tier. Honestly, Weathering with You is the best of that guy. What's the guy's name? I'm not the biggest fan of him. Right, Makoto Shinkai. This is his best. This is best. His best movie. Makoto Shinkai's best movie is easily Weathering with You. Obviously, most people will pick Your Name, but Your Name is not that great. But this is fucking fantastic. I fucking love it. I saw it in cinemas. It's really fucking good. Obviously the animation's stellar, but I think the story's good. Characters are really good. It's like, I think it takes like the thing, like a lot of the good stuff that was in Your Name, but then combines it with like a lot of his, like a lot of trademarks of his earlier works. I think Your Name was like a bit, it was too big of a departure from his normal stuff, and like there are parts of it that I like understand why it's so easy for people to like it's very likable. I get why a lot of people like Your Name, but I felt like Weathering with You is just so much better. And I think it's Makoto really starting to find his kind of style while still making it like a lot more better than his older works. I mean, Garden of Words was really good, but it also had a lot of problems. And then Your Name was like, but it was better than Garden of Words, but it was like different. It was good for like different reasons, and made it slightly better. But then Weathering with You, I feel like is like, yeah, like, it's like his style, but also like has the stuff in Your Name that like makes it very easy to like, and so I think it's a very likable one that's still more his style. I appreciate the ending a lot more. The Your Name ending is a fucking cop out. And also just the world makes a lot more sense here. Your Name is a bit too high concept, because it doesn't get to explain itself, and that's because if it does explain itself, it makes no sense. And I mean, the fact that it's able to, I'm basically talking about Your Name now as well, so let's do that. Let's put that in there. Skip forward a bit, chuck that in there. That goes in B. The thing with Your Name is like, yeah, like the fact that it's able to not explain itself and it still be enjoyable and you barely realize it unless you're doing like a rewatch or you're thinking about it is commendable. Like, it does that and you barely notice, but yeah, if you, once you rewatch it or you think about it for a second, you're like, oh, the story completely falls apart and makes no sense, and I kind of want to hate the show now. I almost don't want to give it a B. You know what, yeah, fuck it, give it a C. I really don't. Your Name's not that great. I hate that it is so fucking popular and liked by so many people. It's good, but I mean, no, it's not good. I understand why people like it, but like, come on, it's it's like, this is like so much better. Weathering with You is actually really fucking good, really fucking amazing. I love it. Alright. Oh boy, Wicross. Do I? Oh, right, I only have, okay, right, I have only the one Wicross. I have to put Wicross in C just because it's such a fucking mixed bag of quality. Like, Wicross is weird, man. Wicross is weird. So this has... So for Wicross, this includes both seasons of Selector and both seasons of... I think it's called, like... Infector, is it? Like the Luster Rage and the other one. Look, Wicross is fucking weird, alright? The problem is the quality is way too varying. Season 1 is, like, really not great. Like, the first season, I don't think is very good. I think the second season is a lot better. The second season's a lot of fun. Has a lot of more... Well, not fun. It's kind of a dark show, but, you know, it's, like, a lot more enjoyable, rather. And it has a lot more better, characters. And it has a lot better consistency in, like, its writing and its world. Season 1 contradicts itself constantly and all over the place. And it's really dumb and annoying, but, and then, like, I didn't watch the movie, so that might be... That's a gap, because technically the movie comes after the first 2 seasons, but before season 3 and 4. I haven't seen the movie, but then it gets into, like, the Lost Age stuff, or Infected, whatever the fuck the next 2 seasons are called. They're not called Selector anymore, they're called something else. And those 2, the first one is, like, fine. It's a pretty good, like, almost, it feels like a soft reboot. It's like the games come back, but, like, the rules to it are different now, and there's, like, these coins system, and all that stuff is really good. I actually think the way they change up the game in that one is really good, and adds a lot of tension. I think it has some really good characters. There's, like, that one guy whose, like, sister died or whatever, he's really interesting. I really like him. He ends up, like, getting replaced by a girl, because it's like, I don't know, it's like reverse in that. It's hard to explain. But and then that makes his character honestly better in the next season, the 4th season. But the 4th season is really interesting because it's basically an all-star version. The game restarts again, and this time the only people that are taking part in it are main characters from the 3rd season, but then also characters who are the batch of main characters from season 1 and 2. And so it's like all-star this time. It's the new game rules from season 3 with a few new added, but it's also got the characters from the first 2 seasons. And that's really fucking interesting, and a lot of fun, and, like, being able to see the different matches and stuff that happen because of that is really cool. We get, you know, the classic main character from the original series versus the new main character, which is really cool. I think that match ends up getting, like, cancelled partway through, though, and doesn't get a conclusion, which is a cop-out. So many shows do that. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX fucking does it as well. Talk about a cop-out. But yeah, it's fucking, I don't know, I like Wicross, but there's, like, so many different aspects of it that are just weird and bad, especially the ending. Like, pretty much every season of Wicross has a really bad end. They need to, I don't know, they need to do something about that. The endings are always bad. It's like this series of escalation, because, like, the like, end of season 1... Like, the main villain that they fight at the end of season 1 is just, like, another player. And then, like, by the end of, like, the 2nd season, it's like, oh, it's, like, the person that's in the White Room. And then at the end of season 3, it's, like, the White Room itself. And then in season 4, it's, like, oh, the final villain is, like, the concept of the game in, like, but it's the White Room, but it's the White Room is defeated, so it's like the concept of its own existence. It's fucking weird. It's absurd. It's so fucking dumb. It's just an escalation, and it's like the villain is so, like, at such a high level of absurdity by that point that beating it also makes no sense. It's just like, oh yeah, all the characters are just here, and they they decide they want to beat it, and so then it's beaten. It's Wicross gets weird, and yeah, because it's a big old mess. It's just, I don't know. I like I said, overall I like it for those good parts, but but I have to put it in C because, like, I don't know, the bad parts just it's just weird. It's a weird show. I'll skip Wonder Egg for now, just so I can talk about the other Wicross series, because this one is bad. Wicross Diva Alive, I was like, so here's the thing, here's the problem with this. First of all, it's nothing, no one who's a fan of the original Wicross anime is gonna like Wicross Diva Alive, I feel, at least. Maybe there are some, but I feel like if you wanted more Wicross, this is not more Wicross. This is something else completely. This is... So here's the thing, you know, people criticize Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot because it spends a lot of time explaining, like, the rules of the show and everything. Which, fair enough. If you don't like Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it spends time explaining the rules and explaining itself a lot, that's fine. But then that means that But for that reason, I feel like you have to criticize Wicross for the same thing, which is that Wicross doesn't explain the rules at all. And so if you don't know how the game works, it can be a little hard to follow. Now in this one, it's not as much as a problem, because the story's good, the characters are good, it's interesting, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on that makes it enjoyable. And even though I have no idea how to play Wicross, the game, the real game, I really like this one. As I said, I like it, and it's, you know, the characters, some of them I really love. But when it comes to Diva Alive, the characters are kind of boring, kind of shitty, kind of generic, and it's not like a dark, gritty, like, story like this with, like, characters dying and having to deal with all this bullshit. It's just a very generic climbing the ladder ranking story. This main characters are super generic, all the enemies are very generic. It's like Idol climbing the rankings to where the best kind of story, and it's super generic. And so when it doesn't have any of that going for it, and it still doesn't explain how the game works, so you just watch it happen and you're like, how does any of this work or happen? Then yeah, it just becomes not good. And I think it has like a 5. I think it has like a really low rating on MAU. For what MAU usually has. I know 5 isn't a low rating, but it is on MAU because most things are rated like 7 on there. But yeah, Diva Alive is like not great. I feel like if you're a fan of the card game, it's probably fine. But if you're just a fan of this, like the anime series, the original one, I feel like there's no way you'd enjoy this, because it's just nonsense, and it's just super generic. And if you don't care for the card game or know how it works, then it really has nothing. It has basically nothing to give. I dropped it after, I think, 3 episodes. I tried to keep watching it because I thought, like, surely there's something in there. Maybe it'll eventually get dark like Wicross did. But as far as I can tell, it never does. So I was just like, yep, I'm done here. I do not care for this. And I dropped it. Also, maybe I should split Wicross into 2 sections. Like the first 2 seasons and the other 2 seasons. I don't know. I feel like the fact that the 4th season kind of brought them all back together for like an all-star one is probably why I didn't do it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it should just be the one. Wonder Egg Priority D. Even from the get-go, I didn't think Wonder Egg Priority was going to be anything special. When it started out, I was like, hey, the directing's pretty good. This director will be interesting. But the show itself, it had good animation, good directing. But that was, like, it. Like, the rest of it was, like, very not that interesting. I don't know. People were, like, talking about it like it was the greatest thing since fucking Jesus Christ gave us wine that used to be water. You know? It felt like that. No. Like, everyone was fucking praising the heck out of the show. And, like, I saw a lot of people online talking about, like, how deep it was and how good the story was and everything. And I'm like, this is literally Baby's first, like, anti-bullying show. Oh, bullying is bullying bad. It's like, okay, cool. Do you have anything to actually say about the topic, or are you just gonna say bullying bad? And then it's like, episode 2, bullying bad. I'm like, okay. Anything else? Episode 3, bullying bad. I'm like, thank you for your insightful input into this topic. Yeah, I mean, there were some people that were saying, like, yeah, the story's kind of whatever, but it's, like, got really good direction and animation, which is what I can commend it for. The direction and animation was really good at the start. We all know how that fucking ended up by the end. But, like, yeah, the story was really bad, and that really annoyed me because, yeah, first of all, there were a lot of people acting like it was super great and pretentious and everything, but oh my god. It's like in the third episode, like, literally the big line the main character says as she, like, beats the bad guy, it's like, that's just bullying. It's like, thank you for spelling out the theme of this villain, that they are a bully, just like, yep, I get it, bullying bad, thank you. Please fucking tell me anything else. Are you actually interesting, or are you just gonna keep doing the same thing? And then just kept doing the same thing. So, I mean, thank you, Wonder Egg Priority, but I value my time, and so I'm not gonna watch your shitty show. Then it had an entire episode that was a recap, and I mean like an actual episode, like it was a numbered episode, it wasn't a 7.5 or whatever, it was a full, proper episode, numbered episode, was just a recap, and I'm like, yep, they did and that's why they then had to, like, months later put out the actual final episode, because they decided to make one of the numbered episodes a recap, so that they could have all that extra time. But then, of course, everyone who was a creative working on that had other commitments next season, because everyone's schedule in the anime industry is fucking packed for, like, 2 years in advance, so they had to move on to working on other stuff, which means they barely had any time to work on that episode, even giving themselves, like, 3 months to work on it. And so it still came out like shit and barely fucking finished, and a bunch of terrible mistakes in it. And so now the main good thing about it, which is that I had a good animation, that's gone. It has barely anything left. Apparently the story is shit even if you are a fan of it and did think it was good before, because it doesn't answer any questions and just does a bunch of bullshit. And so I'm like, okay, now even the fans hate it. That Garen fucking tease, I'm not gonna like it because I already kind of hated it compared to the fans that were loving it. So I dropped it after, like, I think I watched like 7 or 8 of the episodes. I was like, I hadn't seen the recap one yet. I think the recap was like 9 or something. So that would mean I watched maybe 7, because I don't think I was up to the recap. Yeah, I don't know, man. Had a good animation and direction. That was about it. I fucking called it though. I kept trying to tell everyone, please, the story's bad, and then eventually it ended and they were like, oh, the story's bad, which, yeah, you could probably tell it was going to be that way if you were paying attention from the start, because it's not saying anything. So if you think, oh, at the end this will be good, this will all make sense at the end, there'll be some payoff, of course there's not going to fucking be one. If the only thing that makes a story interesting is you think it'll get better later, that doesn't mean it's good. That means it's bad and it's not going to get better later. Because every single time there's a show like that where people are like, oh, the payoff, it's going to get better later, it's building up, so wait till they answer all these questions, oh, it's so interesting. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Nothing's ever good when it's like that. If the only thing that makes you say it's good is that it has the potential to be good once it gets a payoff, that means it's bad. That always means it's bad. It never means it's good. It means it's going to be the thing that's hyped up all season, and then when it ends, everyone's going to be like, man, they really messed up the ending. It's like, yes, because this happens every time. Where have I seen this before? Oh, I don't know. Fucking everywhere. Everywhere. Stop doing this. Stop getting hyped for shows where the only thing that makes them good is that you're hyped for them, and you're like, oh, it's building up to something. Oh, I'm sorry I keep ranting about this, but it's like, it drives me crazy that it keeps happening and people keep falling for it. Stop being hyped. Stop being hyped for shit that's currently airing. It happens every fucking season, and then as soon as the season's over, everyone forgets that shit, because so much anime is just remembered for the one fucking season it airs in, and then no one cares after that. Watch the good shit that has stood the test of time. That's why old shit is good and new shit is bad always, every single time, because you go back and you don't watch the shit that was just cool for that one season. You go back and you watch the shit that's good and has stood the test of time. Old shit good, new shit bad, always. Always. That's always the case. Obviously, sometimes you do watch stuff that is going to be good forever as it comes out now. But I'm just saying, don't get hype for shit when it's so likely that it's only going to be enjoyable as you're watching it. And then once you're done, it means fucking nothing. That's a serious pet peeve of mine in a lot of things, but I feel like it's the worst in anime. Anyway, my name is Yamada-kun's. That's an F tier. It's also made by the guy that made, as I said, Grave of the Fireflies, Pompoko. Wow, look at that. He made another anime that's boring as balls. I should actually, I'll put all this stuff together. Let's put all this stuff together. There we go. And I'll move that. There we go. There we go. All this shit together. Yeah, Grave of the Fireflies ain't great. No, wait, I'm not talking about Grave of the Fireflies. Bleh. Neighbors Yamada. My neighbors Yamadas, whatever. Yeah, it's not great. It's boring. Same issue I have with it is basically the same issue I have with Pompoko. It's just seriously boring. Nothing interesting happens. None of the characters are interesting. There was like one good moment where there was a funny joke that I kind of remember. But that's it. Outside of that, pretty much nothing interesting happens. It's just so boring, guys. I don't even have much to say. It's boring, alright? It's just fucking boring. That's the worst thing a piece of media can do, so it goes in F tier because it's just hyper fucking boring. Skip GX, so okay, I can talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! First, then I'll talk about GX. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, which will also include the movie. What's it called? Not the Pyramid of Light one, the new one. Dark Side Dimensions, I think it's called. Dark Dimensions or whatever. Really fucking good movie. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's A tier. Look, I know it's silly. I know there's some filler arcs, mainly season 3, that's kind of bad. Like, well, the main part of season 3. Once season 3 gets back into the Battle City tournament, it's good again. Yeah, I don't know, man. Look, there's just... Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just fun, alright? I enjoy watching it. It's really good. This is my personal opinion, so fuck you. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! Has its problems, but they honestly don't bother me that much when I watch it, alright? I just have fun watching the silly, over-the-fucking-top duels that are really cool, and there's some really good ones and fun ones, and sometimes I just, you know, feel like rewatching them. Sometimes I'll just go online and I'll just want to randomly watch some duels that I remember happening, and I watch them. A lot of them actually are like Season 4 ones. There's actually a lot of really good duels in Season 4. Which is weird, because a lot of people say they dislike Season 4. I actually quite like Season 4, probably because it has a lot of cool duels in it. I think in particular the one when Yugi versus Weevil on a train. They're on top of a fucking train. Which, I mean, everyone remembers that one because of the end of it, you know? But also that duel just actually is good in its entirety. And then at the same time you have Joey versus Rex, which I also think is pretty good. But yeah, I mean everyone knows, yeah, but everyone knows that one for the end. The Dara Monster God, you know. But the duel, the whole duel is good. I also think Joey vs. Mine Season 4 is good. I think Joey vs. that fucking Australian guy who's not meant to be Australian, is great. The English voice actor sounds like he's Australian. For some reason, apparently he was trying to do like a Cockney accent, but everyone just thinks he sounds like an Australian because he does. That's a terrible UK accent. It's like I think you're just accidentally, inadvertently doing an Australian accent, bro. The Yugi verse, that dude bro one is great. The one where Yugi has to give up his soul instead of the Pharaoh. It only needs one of us, so I'm letting it take me instead. No, Yugi. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is fucking great, and Season 4 is good. GX, Ooh, GX is a B, I guess. Probably a low B. I mean, maybe, you know what, put it in C. Yeah, there's some good stuff about Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I really like Season 1 and 2. But after that, it just kind of starts to go off the rails. Season 3 has terrible pacing and also cannot pick a fucking lane. Like, Season 3 is all over the place, and Season 4 is just downright bad. Like, Season 3 and 4 are just nonsense. There's some cool stuff in Season 3. I like a lot of stuff about it. I just wish it kept itself focused. Basically, everything, like, so in Season 3, they go to the alternate worlds, and then there's, like, all that fucking zombie shit, which is just, like, dumb and annoying. Take out all of that. Take out all of that from Season 3. Just have the students from the other school come, and then have them get sent to the other world, and then have them fight to get out of it, but Jesse gets left behind. That alone is great. All that extra zombie shit where they keep changing the plot and keep writing themselves into a corner and then having to make bullshit to get out of it is just absurd. It's just silly. They just keep, like... And then they get back to the normal world, but then they have to go back to the other world to get Jesse. That's great. And all the stuff that happens there is great, where, like, everyone fucking dies because of Jaden, and he gets super fucking traumatized, and he ends up becoming the, like, Demon King Lord or whatever. That's great. And then the duel that, Jin has with him, where it's a tie at the end, so they both die, but because Jaden's the, like, evil king guy, whatever, he dies instead of Jaden dying, so Jaden's then left alone, and, like, I mean, everyone's still dead and it's fucked up, but but that's fine. That's great. But then they go back to the world, and then it's like, but then they go back to the alternate world again later, and then there's, like, the stuff with Zane and Cyrus, and then Zane fucking dies fighting Jesse, but then Jesse fights Jaden, and then it's actually Yubel, and then Yubel fuses with Jaden, and it's just like, it's just, if it was just able to fucking just have them go to the other world, like when they go there the second time. Also skip the tournament at the start. There's like that whole weird side tournament at the start, which also ends up meaning nothing. Just have the other world stuff happen, skip the tournament, skip the zombie bullcrap, and just do the story fucking straight from start to finish, instead of having all these weird side plots. It'd be so much better. But then Season 4 is just all bad, and especially the last duel. The last fucking duel, as in the last actual duel, because Jaden versus Yugi doesn't get a conclusion, and also possibly isn't even real. It's weird. But apart from that, the final, like, actual final battle duel, that is, like, so fucking bad, so boring. It's way too, like, it's like it's bad the way the final duel of Season 4 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is bad. I know I said I like Season 4, but the ending to that season is absurd. Where it's just like, there's so many rules, and it gets so absurd with all these, like, extra things. And the way to beat them is just, like, it has to be so freaking specific and absurd and ridiculous, and it makes no sense, that it's just, like, it just gets way too... It's just way too far up its own fucking ass at that point. And that's what the final duel of GX as a whole is like. It's just like, I just don't care. It's just so boring. It's just so boring. Just fucking end it, please. Yeah, I don't know. GX has a lot of good stuff. I really like Season 1 and 2. Or maybe I like Season 3 as well. Is it 4 and 5? Or are there 4 seasons? I can't remember now. Whatever. When they go to the other world, whatever season that is, that's when it starts to get bad. All the stuff before that is really good. I really like it. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. Don't watch the dub. The dub is really fucking bad. Because it's not just bad in terms of voice acting. It's bad in terms of... the voice acting actually isn't that bad for the GX dub. The problem is the script. the dub script, like, ruins so many story moments. And there's that fucking... that, like, Yaden schmovie moment or whatever the fuck it's called. I can't tell you who, but I can tell you what his name rhymes with. Yaden Schmoopy or some shit like that. It's so fucking dumb. This is something. I'll put it in D because I don't remember enough about it. Yeah, this is another one where I really don't remember anything about it. This is, it's like Yuri something. It's like this short little 1 or 2 episode OVA thing that's like just an OVA. I watched it a really long time ago, like 2014 or 2015 or something is when I watched it, and it's really short. I remember thinking it was pretty funny and enjoying it, but honestly I probably just need to rewatch it, but I don't even know if I can rewatch it. Yeah, I don't know where I would go if I wanted to rewatch it. But this is... I remember liking it, but the problem is I don't really remember anything about it. And that's a problem, because then I can't really grade it accurately, so it goes in D for just being forgettable. But I mean, it's 2 episodes, so it's probably forgettable for most people that see it. I just don't remember enough to give it a better score, really, sadly. But I remember liking it, so maybe it should be higher, but you know what, I'll put it in C. I'll put it in C because I do remember liking it, but yeah, I don't remember enough about it to really give it an accurate reason for that score, just that I remember thinking it was good. Here we got Eurocamp. Fucking S tier. Eurocamp's so fucking good. Peak Iyashikei. It's in my top fucking 10 anime of all time. Eurocamp is. It's so fucking good, guys. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. I want to put it up there with the others. Yeah. I know it's not organized horizontally, but don't worry about it. I just want it. I just want it to be up there because Eurocamp's so fucking good. I love Eurocamp. It's great. It's so good. Season 2 came out last year, and it was so fucking good. You know, just like even better than the first one. And I can't wait for the movie, can't wait for season 3. It's all gonna be fucking fantastic. I want to read that fucking visual novel. There was a visual novel that came out, Eurocamp visual novel. There was also like a VR game. They're both not translated, but I don't care. I want them anyway. Also, the VN is fully voice acted, which is like fucking insane. And it uses the cute little chibi faces that they use in the show when they're texting. It uses those little faces as like their sprite face when they're talking. It's fucking great. And yeah, it's fully voice acted like by the cast, which is like insane. There's so much fucking effort into it, and I want it even though I don't know Japanese. I want it. And I will fucking listen to the whole thing and not understand a word of it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. I'm insane. I love Eurocamp. It's so good. It's like just like I just love it so much. The characters are so good. The I don't know, man. What do you want from me? It's just so good. It's like the best Iyashikei ever fucking made. It's got really good characters. Watching all the like different dynamics they try out as well is really cool. Like you know, in the first season they have a few dynamics that they try out, but then in the second one they start to be like, okay, what if we get like this specific combination of characters who have never hung out, where it's just like them, and we have them hang out and go on a camping trip for like an episode, and they do that, and it's great. It makes me happy, and I love every single thing about Eurocamp. I have literally zero complaints about it. Everything about it is done so well and good and perfectly, and I love it, and it makes me happy, and I want to beam Eurocamp, K-On, and Lucky Star. I want those 3 shows to be beamed into my brain endlessly until I die. That is what I want. Please make it happen. Anyway, yeah, look, it's so fucking good. It's, honestly, if you like Iyashikei stuff, if you like cute girl shows, you have to watch Eurocamp, because it's so fucking perfect. Even if you don't like it, honestly, because there are people I know who like aren't like super into those genres that like watch Eurocamp and they fucking love it because it's like such a perfect example of that style of show. It's just so it's done so fucking good. I fucking love Eurocamp. What the heck? Oh, I did this last time as well when this music came up. I was like, what the heck? Because then Toast made a comment about the old wedding hall. It's weird music. Yuri is an A-tier show. It's a fucking great comedy. I watched this like really early on. I think either before or after I watched Squid Girl. I watched Yuri, the first 2 seasons. And then, of course, way later they put out those, like, 2 OVAs, and one of them was, like, movie length, and I think was even shown in some movie cinemas as, like, a limited run thing. And then there was season 3, and then there was, like, more OVAs after that. And then there was also that, like, mini online series they did on YouTube, which I actually really like, because they have a moment where they pretend that in the anime they're making like an animated sequence, and so the way they do that is like, because obviously like if you show something animated in anime and it's like, if it's done the same way as you draw like all the other characters, then it won't look, it just looks like it's like the rest of the normal world, you know. For all we know, they could be like just, it could be live action. So instead they do actual live action segments in the anime, and that's the animated sections within the world of the anime, because then it's like, yeah, it's like the opposite. And so it's the real life voice actors dressed up as the character, like cosplaying as the characters, doing fucking real live action like gags and skits and stuff, and it's fucking hilarious. More shows need to do like just wacky shit like that. It's so fucking funny. Yeah, Yuri is fantastic, and yeah, season 1 and 2 are like good, but like season 3 is like a whole other level of good. Season 3 is so fucking good. Seriously, like Yuri, like Sanhai is like it's next level. It's like really fucking funny, way funnier than the show's been before. And they finally actually explore the sisters a bit more than they did before, because like the sister characters like existed in season 1 and 2, but they're like barely there, and they like pretty much never get a gag to themselves. They're just kind of there sometimes. But in season 3, they go all in. They give all the sisters actual fucking moments and interactions and skits where they're like either by themselves, or they're just interacting with one of the other sisters, or they're interacting with characters that aren't their sister that is a main character. And so it's like, it's great fucking stuff. And yeah, and it's just like so much funnier and better. Actually giving those extra supporting cast members some depth and some jokes is fantastic. It's also got that great shot of of Kyoko wearing that shirt that says "I am Aho," which is like the best shirt ever, because it has "I am" in English, and then it has Aho spelled in English letters. So it's like it's just great because it works on both levels. You know, in Japanese it says "I am an idiot," and in English it says "I am a hoe." So this is fucking, it's fantastic. There's one girl that reads it. She's like, "I am a hoe." She's like, well, "Why is I am in English?" It's like, oh, you can read English. It's so fucking dumb. This is the fucking dumbest shit. Oh, another great thing that Sanhai does, which is the same kind of thing I talked about Eurocamp Season 2 doing, which is doing extra dynamics that hadn't been explored before. Like, oh, these like 2 or 3 characters have never hanged out together. What if we made them hang out? And it's great because there's like actual dynamics that work really well. Like, of course, Sabako and Kyoko would be friends. Like, of course, they'd get along great because they're both fucking dumb as a sack of potatoes. And so actually having them hang out and have some scenes and jokes together is like such a good idea because like yeah, why hasn't that been done before? Also the gif of Kyoko, the I say the gif, but like the thing that has become a really good gif. The moment when Kyoko's cheering on Hinamawara, I can't remember her fucking name, it's so long. That's a great fucking thing. It's like the best, one of, if not the best anime gif that has ever lived. Hang on, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it for you. Because I need to show it to you right now. Where is it? I have it here somewhere. There it fucking is. Look at her go. Yep, just do that. Do this. Oh, the music stopped. Shit. Just give me a moment. Whoops, shit. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, there we go. Just resume. Alright. Sweet. Okay. Now let me get... What if I grab... Yo, grab this. And then... right, and then move it up to a higher layer, I think. Yeah, there it is. Look at her go. Best fucking thing that ever came out of Yuri is, that gif right there. Fighto, fighto, Himari-chan. It's great. Just cheering on our friend. Oh boy, alright. This will be the last one, and then we're gonna do some rearranging, because it needs to be rearranged. First we have Zankyou no Terra, last one. Terra in Resonance, Terra in Tokyo, I don't know, it has a bunch of fucking names. C tier because, yeah, honestly it's probably the worst thing Shinichiro Watanabe's ever made, at least that I've seen. It's not great, it just is very meh. It starts out good, it has a lot of good stuff early on. The first 2 episodes in particular are really fantastic. But once they introduce 5, I think's her name, it just gets worse. And then by the end, it gets worse as well, because this is kind of another one where, like, you just assume it's not gonna get, like, bad in certain ways. Because, like, you know, one of the main characters, this girl that's in the middle, like, you just assume, oh, she's a main character, so she'll do something. And then she never does. She's completely fucking useless. You could cut her out and, like, nothing would change. Which is a problem. In fact, cutting her out would make the show better, actually. Like, that's not even like a, oh, I was expecting too much from the show and it didn't deliver. Like, no, it's like, it's her main character. You expect the main characters to do things, and so when one of the main characters doesn't do things... Holy shit, this, like, Maple Story music at this part's, like, really quiet. There we go. So yeah, like, it's just like, that's like the expected thing, and then it just doesn't even do something as basic as that. The show just gets, it just falls apart, becomes really meh by the end. It has a really bad ending that doesn't really answer anything, it kind of makes no sense. And yeah, like, everything that just happens in it is just ridiculous and bad. When you criticize this show, it's weird. So many people jump to defend it, even though there's also so many people that, like, agree that it's, like, really meh. And I don't know where all these defenders are coming from, but they also make no sense in everything they say. They just go like, oh, you don't get it, bro. It's like, fuck off. That's not a defense. I do get it. It's just bad. You can't just say I don't get it and move on. You need to actually... You want to actually try and counter me, bro? Alright, so let me check something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's way too many in A. We need to trim A down a bit. S is fine. S can be that big. It's a lot. Like, I remember people saying when they see my S tiers, they're like, "You've put too many in S tier." I'm like, look at the size of the list and how many I put in other tiers. Like, you're used to small tier lists where, like, only 3 or 4 things will be in S. But when there's this many things, no, the percentage of things in S is fine. It's smaller than, like, most other tiers. The only smaller tiers are E and F, because if a show's bad, if I think I'm gonna dislike a show, I won't start watching it. These are mistakes. That's what these are. Alright? Like, it's not bigger than any of the others except for F and E, which is perfectly fine for an S tier. It looks big, but when you consider how many fucking entries there are, almost 300, yeah. Sorry, but, like, this many being in S isn't that crazy. S is fine. Nothing new is gonna go in S. Though, I probably could move, like, maybe one thing into S, but I'm fine with the way things are. I need to move things out of A, though. What's not worthy of A after a reinspection? Man, this A tier be banging, though. There it is again. I made the list, so of course I think it's banging. Adachi to Shimamura, that can move out. That can go to B. Fuck, bro. What else can I even move into B? This is pretty fucking tough. This A tier is, like, yeah, really good. I don't want to move it, though. You know what? Put Rokubo in B. It's good, but maybe not A tier good. Basketball's still legit, though. Fuck, dude. Why is A so big? Well, okay, yeah, I need to get, like... I need to make just a little smaller A. I really don't want to... Yeah, I'll move Super Cub. I don't want... I kind of want to, though. I don't know. Yeah, I can go in B. Super Cub in B, but keep in mind it's, like, really high B, like, basically an A, but not quite. I'll move Backflip down to C. Which actually probably isn't what I should be doing right now. I shouldn't be filling C. But there's probably something in C that I should have put in B anyway. I'll move Corpse Party up actually into B. I need like one more thing in B. Preferably from A. Go Her Lep for Time is probably the worst thing of everything in A tier, so that can go in B. Alright. Let me see C. Is there anything in here that I should move? I'm kind of happy with the size of C, but... I'm good. Let me check D. Should anything be higher or lower? I'm gonna be a bit unfair here, and I'm gonna move this one down into E. I know I barely remember what I did see of it, and what I did see of it was 2 episodes anyway. So it's kind of unfair for me to put it in E, but I really, really dislike it. So I'm gonna put it in fucking E. And then let's look at E. Is any... This is a pretty solid E tier, honestly. These are all shows that are like, yeah, they're like bad, but they're not like absolutely abhorrent. It's pretty solid E. Check F. Yeah, these are all absolutely horrible pieces of art that should never have been created, and I hate that they exist. That makes sense. Great. That checks out. Solid F tier. What a banging F tier, bro. Banging F tier. Alright, that's the fucking list, everybody. That's the fucking list. It's finally fucking done. Oh my god. How many hours was that all up? Let's check. I need to check the VODs. How long they were. First one was 6 hours. Hang on. All right, I need to break out. The calculator for this one. Why do I have a missed call? What the fuck? Who calls me? A call from Spain? What the fuck? Who the fuck's calling me from Spain? What? Someone called me yesterday from Spain. Why? What? That's so weird. Anyway, calculator. Right, so first one was 6 hours. 6 hours and... wait, how do I do time with a okay, fuck this. You know what? Fuck this. I'm just gonna... Fuck. I'm just gonna, Fuck, okay, look, I'll work this out. First one, 6 hours, 4 minutes. Next one was 2 hours, 47 minutes. 2:47. Next one, 3 hours, 17 minutes. I'm actually wrong. The 6 hour one is not the first one, that's the second one. I need to switch over to find the first one is blocked on YouTube because it, is blocked on YouTube because I accidentally showed a few seconds of the fireworks music video when I showed that, so the entire video is blocked, all 7 hours of it. Okay, yeah, that's 7 hours, 16 minutes, goddamn. And that's the latest one, right? That one, part 4? I think part 4 is the latest one. Let me check Twitch. Twitch doesn't have all the VODs, which is why I had to check YouTube there, but... Yep, the current one we're doing is part 5, and this has taken 2 hours and like 14 minutes. So, first let's combine the hours. $20 hours. Now let's combine the minutes. Luckily at most this can only add like 4 hours, but it probably won't. Doesn't look like it will. Yeah, 98, so... 38. So yeah, 21 hours, 38 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, everybody. That's how fucking long it took to do this nonsense. 21 hours... 21 hours and 38 minutes. When I Google 2138, I get Matthew 2138. But when the tenants saw the sun, they said to each other, "This is the heir. Come, let's kill him and take his inheritance." What the fuck, Matthew? There you go. There's a Bible verse of the day, everybody. Apparently they're gonna kill some guy and take his inheritance. Some things never change, am I right? But alright, thank you everybody for watching this nonsense. If you watched all of it. If you're just watching today, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed me finishing this monstrosity. I will do it again next year because my sanity knows no bounds. And next year, it's probably gonna pass 300 entries, and that terrifies me greatly. Heck, just based off what I've finished since the end of last year till now, it's already hit 288 entries. Ooh. Alright. I probably won't stream for the rest of the week, I guess. Let me check the temperature. The reason I stream today is because it's cool, but that's because today is a top of 21, which is what it is right now, which is still cool, and it's only gonna get cooler later, which is great. But then we got 26, 28, kill me, 29, kill me, 31, kill me even more, 31, kill me until I'm dead. And then despite Monday and Tuesday meant to be cloudy, rainy days, top of 28 and 27, what the fuck weather. So yeah, I don't know, the next 7 days are all hot. Maybe Monday and Tuesday will be colder than they're predicting, because it's meant to be raining. I don't know how it's meant to be rainy like all day and still so hot. I guess it'll be really muggy and humid, which honestly is like worse. Worst. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it feels. You know, sometimes as the day gets closer, the predictions obviously change as things happen. Sorry, I got a runny nose. Anyway, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, when it's summer, it's just like so much is dependent on the heat. Because I really cannot stream when it's hot. I can't lock myself in this room and close the fucking door and just let it get absurdly hot in here. It has to be cool. It has to be cooler. It has to be like now. Like, top of 21 is like so... Like, that's so reasonable. But as I've said, this house is really good at staying cool when it is cool. So once we get into like spring... No, sorry, not spring. Autumn. And winter. And then even during spring, this house stays fucking cold. Even during spring, it's like freezing in this fucking house. I don't know what it's gonna be like when winter hits. This house stays cold when it's cold. It has to be like hot outside for it to actually get hot in here. So I'll be able to stream plenty during those times. I plan to stream a lot this year. Definitely way more than last year. I just can't during summer, guys. I can't do it. I don't handle the heat well at all. I really don't. It kills me. So yeah, I want to, but who fucking knows? I'll try to get more streams in January, hopefully. I'd like to get Luigi's Mansion 3 done before January ends. And, does it get, like, hotter in February? Or is January when it's the hottest? I can never remember. Whatever. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We just have to see what I have to take it day by day, guys, because I really just can't tell. It really just depends how hot it is and how I feel. Like, yesterday was cool, but I felt shitty all day yesterday, and I ended up spending most of the day, like, sleeping, so, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, whatever. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all hopefully next time. peace out for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all whenever I fucking see you.